A wealthy doctor and a Parisian model, a couple who had it all.
He made a lot of money at his business.
Money, mansions.
Their home was so flamboyant.
And then, tragedy.
Okay, is she awake?
No, ma'am, she's dead.
The exotic Samira Frasch found dead in her luxury pool.
She was laying in the bottom of the pool like this.
Some say it was an accident.
Samira did not know how to swim.
Others, murder.
Did you kill your wife?
No.
In this Crime Watch Daily exclusive, Dr. Frasch speaks publicly for the very first time about his wife's death, and he's aiming to blow the doors off his case.
And I can prove it. They made untruthful statements.
Adam Frasch, a successful doctor living the dream in sunny Florida.
Dr. Adam Frasch, he's a very flamboyant, extravagant individual. He was a podiatrist by trade, and he had a lot of money, which he spent. He loved luxurious cars, trips. He gambled quite frequently, and he also had some type of infatuation with exotic dancers. I believe at one point I noticed he had 81 cars registered to him.
81 cars?
And there was multiple that weren't registered to him that he owned.
You had a very lavish lifestyle.
Depends on who you compare it to. Compare it to Donald Trump? No. If you compare it to janitor, yes.
While separating from his second wife, Adam traveled to Paris and met Samira. According to her best friend Jackie Watson, Samira was a shooting star from Madagascar on the fast track to fame.
She was a model. She was a model in Paris. She was on her way up. Before she became a mother, Samira always wanted to have a career as a singer. And she was a good singer, you know. I don't know if you saw the videos, but she was a really good singer.
They do not do work, I succeed, then I...
Where were you two married?
We first got married in Las Vegas, and then we had a formal wedding in Madagascar about 6 months later.
They had 2 little girls, and they settled into a swanky life into a gated Tallahassee neighborhood.
I think she was a good mom. She seemed very interested in providing the best life for her children. She had an interesting way of going about that, which, you know, might be somewhat controversial, but I do think she was a good mother.
Sky, look at mommy a little bit. You like it? Do you like it? Ooh, you're making a mess.
From everything we can tell, she was very attentive to the children and wanted the children to be the center of attention everywhere they went. She would parade the kids around in very expensive strollers and clothing, and tried to start a clothing line for one of her daughters, and threw a one-year-old birthday party for one of the daughters that most people wouldn't throw for a wedding.
She was the best mother ever. She was very nurturing. She loved her girls more than her own life.
Skyna, look at mommy. Hey, Skyna. She's like,
Their lifestyle was very unorthodox, very flashy, flamboyant type of way of dressing, the vehicles they rode in, the way that they furnished their home.
Lots of gold, lots of marble. I think over the top for most people's taste.
You had animals, you know, from the jungle, stuffed animal, but the real thing, you know, you have zebra.
We definitely discovered from family and friends of Samira's that she was in fact high maintenance. I think she knew that Adam could provide a lifestyle, something that she was demanding.
But beneath the surface of this life of excess, there were signs of trouble. The money wasn't just from his podiatry practice. Investigators say there was some dirty money too.
I know there was some investigation from the feds looking into some of his books, but he made a lot of money for his trade.
I learned that he had multiple extramarital affairs going on throughout the course of his marriage. I learned that he was engaged in Medicaid fraud to the tune of many hundreds of thousands of dollars.
What kind of relationship did Adam and Samira have?
Everything I can tell, it was pretty violent.
From physical abuse,
verbal abuse, mental for sure. You know, and Adam had multiple girlfriends.
he also fathered a child with one of those girlfriends.
That's where I really found out the nightmare that she was living in.
When Sam and I had a falling out during our engagement period and had a child with a woman outside of wedlock, but it wasn't a planned thing, it was, and we dated for just a short period of time.
But Adam's father says there were problems with Samira as well. In fact, he claims she wasn't a model at all.
Later on, we found out that she wasn't really a model, that this was all fabricated. Adam kind of built it up with her.
The reported episodes of violence escalated.
He had a very short temper, and when his temper went south, it was pretty bad. He could be violent very quick.
Every time that she was confronting him about his cheating, he was getting violent because he was feeling trapped, she was telling me. So he would get very aggressive with the throw, putting back on the bed.
Friends say Samira was terrified of her husband, but Dr. Frasch claims he was the victim of a violent alcoholic.
She would get sometimes in like a jealous rage or mood, even though I wasn't doing anything or flirting or anything, but she'd just get in these moods sometimes, especially if she was drinking.
Were you physically violent to your wife?
Never. No.
Never?
Never.
Not one time?
No.
But you do admit there were fights in your household.
Well, when people say fights, it's like, it wasn't like me returning the aggression or anger. I'd try to calm her. I said, baby, I love you, calm down, And so when people were there, they didn't understand her because they didn't love her like I did. And they would, say, how can you tolerate that or whatever? But I said, when you love somebody, sorry, but that's all I knew. She had a condition, it was mostly, hormonally related.
Adam claims he caught this argument on video while on family vacation.
I don't want to, please. No, baby.
Okay.
No.
I'll tell you, you put that next airplane. You're not staying near them. No.
Who took that video?
It was almost like it was set up so she didn't know he was filming it, to catch her yelling at him.
It was very tumultuous. They were on again, off again.
They were toxic together.
They were toxic. They would get in an argument, and for him to get her back, he would send photographs of $100 bills on the bed in I love you, and that was what would bring her back to the house.
Up next, Samira is confronted with a sex tape, and you won't believe who stars in the lead role.
She got physical and started hitting me.
And was Samira leading a secret life of her own?